Hey guys, it's Joel from guntoter.org. Welcome back to the channel. Today, continuing in our theme of micro chest rigs, we will be talking about the Haley D3CRM. I got lucky. I actually got in on one of their email drops. I was pretty excited because I'd been watching these things forever. They're almost as hard to get a hold of as a Spiritus. So I was really excited to get this. This is the third kind of in our series. We talked about the Spiritus Microfight. We talked about the RDR, and now we're talking about the D3CRM. So, a little bit about the features. We'll go over it real quick. As with many of the micro rigs, some of the features that you have grown to know and love, you have the loop-lined back pouch here. You have, your attachment points. These are removable for your chest, for your actual straps for your rig. You have the hook on the back, and then you have some sort of accessory pocket up front. Now, you saw with the Spiritus, they have the single loop-lined accessory pocket. With the RDR, they have the two loop-lined pockets. Haley did something a little different here. They basically put an admin pouch on the front, and then they put two, really they're pistol mag pouches, but they're also kind of multi-use pouches, and I'll talk about those in a second. So when it comes to this admin pouch up front, it has two features that I like, and then it's got one that I don't like. So first off, it has your elastic sewn in, and then on the front side here, it also has loop. So what you can do when you're setting this up is you can use these back ones to put like a small GPS. You could put medical supplies in there, you could put admin supplies in there, and then you can use this front side to add additional elastic, like with a hook-backed organizer or some other sort of hook-backed accessory. And although I personally would have liked to see the loop on both sides as opposed to the elastic being required on this side, I do think it still gives you a lot of options because you don't have to use this side for anything. If the elastic does what you need it to do, you can leave this open, which keeps it from getting too cluttered in here. However, if for whatever reason you need to use both sides, you can. And a lot of those hook-backed accessories are fairly inexpensive, so it's not going to take a whole lot to upgrade this to meet any additional carriage requirements you have. Now, the downside to this front pouch is I really wish that it actually unzipped all the way. As you can see, well, hopefully you can see, there's about 3/4 to an inch right here where it's sewn up, so you can't fold this down completely flat. Now, it does do a pretty good job. So if you stuck your phone in here because you were using it to do some sort of Blue Force tracking or just using the map feature or whatever you're doing, you can put it in there and it will fold out and it will be workable. However, if it folded completely flat, with some sort of like bungee retention or something, to me that would be a little bit more useful. But overall, it's a very useful admin pouch. The side pockets, as you can see here, it appears they're intended to be pistol magazine pockets, which is cool. If you run pistol mags on your chest, I typically don't, but it's also the perfect size to fit, for example, a Surefire sized flashlight or a multi-tool. I put Gerber in there, fits great. The Surefire, the standard, Surefire flashlights fit in there great. It does have the retention on top. So while I believe they're intended to be magazine pouches, as with a lot of magazine pouches, you can use them for other purposes. And, so overall, the accessory pouches on the outside here are pretty useful. I think the Spiritus is probably more versatile as far as the front pouch goes because you can literally put just about anything in there. But with this design, with these three pouches, it's still very versatile. Now for the back, a couple points on the back pouch. The back pouch, the loop does not go all the way to the bottom like it does in both the RDR and the Spiritus. It actually only goes maybe 2/3 of the way down. I haven't found that to be a negative, to be honest. Most of these conversions, like I have the 8492 Nylon Works conversion in here right now. Most of them grip mostly at the top anyway, so there's still plenty of purchase in there for it to get a hold of, and you know your inserts aren't going to come out. But that's just something you know, for general knowledge, is that it doesn't go all the way to the bottom. Now, for you reprobates that continue to use AKs, even though the AR is clearly the logistically superior platform, the pouch, the rear pouch, is actually about 1 inch wider than the Spiritus. Now, okay, big deal, right? Well, once again, for you reprobates, it is a big deal, because as you can see here, there's plenty of space on either side. This is 3 AR mag pouches, and there's still plenty of space on either side. What that means is that you can fairly easily fit 3 AK or 3 AR-10 mag pouches in here. So for those of you who run AKs, the Spiritus, as I've talked about is in previous videos, is a little tight. I really don't think you're gonna fit 3 7.62 mag pouches in a Spiritus without, you know, possibly some sort of incantations and like lining up stars and stuff. But in the Haley, I think this will be fairly easy. As a matter of fact, if you go on Google and look up image searches of D3CRM AK, you can very clearly see that you can easily put 3 AK inserts in here. So something to think about if you are an AK or an AR-10 guy. The Spiritus may not be your thing. This may be a better option. The RDR, you can also fit 3 in. You know, so it's really just kind of up to you whether you want to go for the Haley, you know, whether this pouch layout works better for you or whether the RDR's pouch layout works better for you. But either way, those two are going to be your better options if you do run 7.62 versus running 5.56. So it's something to think about, you know, when you're planning that out. But I've been playing with this for a couple weeks now. I like it. You know, it's well made, as you would expect it to be. It is nearly impossible to find, kind of like the Spiritus. But if you catch them like right on, you know, the edge of the email alert, you can probably get them. This one did actually come with the X harness. I will say, after using the H harness on the Spiritus, I think I prefer the H harness over the X harness. So I will probably replace that at some point. It's just kind of it's easier to get the H harness on and off than it is the X harness. It tends to kind of like twist and overlap and do some other weird stuff that just annoys me. But, you know, whatever, I'm kind of being whiny about that. So yeah, so that is the Haley D3CRM. That completes our individual series on the 3, the RDR, the Spiritus, and the D3CRM. I will probably try at some point to do a side-by-side video where I show you all 3 of them at the same time. That way, you know, you kind of got like one source instead of having to hop around in my video feed. So that's planned for the future, but hopefully all 3 of these videos have been useful for you. If they have, down in the corner, like, subscribe, follow, alerts, you know, all the fun buttons. We do also have a Patreon page. It's down there in the comments. If you could support us financially, that would be awesome, because I buy all this stuff. No one sends me anything for free, and that does get expensive. If you can't support us monetarily, I get that. We are still in the middle of an economic down slump, so you know, likes and shares, social media currency, good times, love it. If you have comments, questions, you know, you think I'm all messed up, you think I'm awesome, whatever, throw it down on the bottom. I do try to read the comments. I don't necessarily read them as frequently as I used to, because work has kind of picked up a little bit, but I do read them and I do try to respond to them. If I know the answer, I will let you know. If I don't know the answer, I will either punt to someone more knowledgeable, or I will attempt to find you the answer, or, you know, sometimes I'll just make another video about it just because you give me ideas. So thanks again for watching. I hope this was useful, and I hope to see you again next time.